Well, I sit here in the quiet of my modern little room, staring at the screen where the waterfall blooms. I pull down the old logbook from the shelf tonight. Dust on the cover, pages yellowed by time's cruel light. There in careful ink, the call signs of friends I knew, laughing voices on the air, strong signals breaking through. We'd crowd in the shack, coffee steaming in the cold, glow of vacuum tubes painting everything in gold. Crackle of AM stories swapping late into the dawn. Building Heath gets side by side, singing our radio song. Stockcake.com, stockcake.com, Facebook.com. Oh, they're gone now. Silent keys in the night, one by one, fading out of sight. The paper holds their names, but not their voices anymore. Friends I shared the bands with, walking through that final door. The glow is dimming, the crackles turn to silence. In this empty shack I'm left with just remembrance. 7-3 to the ones who taught me how to fly. Silent keys, goodbye. Remember Tommy's laugh when the pilot called his call, or how Bill could pull a whisper through the noise floor wall. We'd string up wires together, climb the roof in summer heat, solder irons glowing, making magic from a kit complete. Late night ride shoes about life, love, and the world we'd spin, dreaming on the shortwave where the real adventure begins. But the years keep turning, taking more with every page. Now the logbook's full of ghosts from a golden age. Play follows, con old bands, con, flicker, come. Oh, they're gone now. Silent keys in the night, one by one, fading out of sight. The paper holds their names, but not their voices anymore. Friends I shared the bands with, walking through that final door. The glow is dimming, the crackles turn to silence. In this empty shack I'm left with just remembrance. 7-3 to the ones who taught me how to fly. Silent keys, goodbye. I fire up the old rig sometimes just to hear the hum, but the bands feel colder now, like the warmth has come undone. No more hey old man crackling through the static sea. No familiar fist on seat, you'll be no one calling me. The new ops are fine with their digital screens so bright, but they never knew the magic of a tube-lit winter night, when friends filled the airwaves and the world felt close and kind. Now it's just echoes in my mind. I trace their call signs slowly with a trembling hand, wondering how time slipped away like grains of sand. We thought we'd be forever chasing DX Vortex till the end. But the final 7-3 came sooner than we planned. If there's a big shack in the sky, I hope they're actuating still, with tubes forever glowing and signals strong at will. Garsham radio or Facebook account. So I'll keep the logbook open, let the memories breathe. Turn the pages gently, though it makes my poor heart grieve. For the friends who showed me wonder in a world of wave and sky, who built this hobby with me before they said goodbye. Maybe someday I'll join them when my own key goes still. Till then I'll keep listening, I know I always will. Oh, they're gone, silent keys in the night, but in my heart they're still burning bright. The paper holds their names and I'll speak them when I pray. For the friends who lit the shack in their warm and gentle way. The glow may fade, the crackle turn to silence, but love like ours defies the year's defiance. 7-3, my brother, till we meet again someday. Silent keys, but never far away. Yeah, silent keys in the logbook blues. 7-8 heat.
All right, there we go, guys. Some new songs coming out today over on Pile Up Radio, and that was my latest one there, called Silent Keys, the Logbook Blues. And it's about a man that's sitting in his shack and all the guys he used to talk to on the radio are dead. And it's a great song. I wrote this one and the other one you're going to hear on the break, called Fading Glow. I wrote them both in the style of Jim Croce, if you guys know who he is. Jim Croce is one of my all-time favorite artists. He died in a plane crash in the mid-'70s, but he left behind some absolutely amazing music for us to listen to and enjoy, including Bad Bad Leroy Brown, Operator, I've Got a Name, and just so many great, great songs that I'm not allowed to play for you on here. But anyway, the point is I not only tweak the lyrics myself, I have it write the original lyrics and then I tweak them. And then I also have it write in a specific style. So there you go. I'm glad you guys are all here tonight. Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Ian. This is Starship Adventures, and that was my little cold open there. I hope everybody's having a good time tonight and staying warm. I had to buy a new heater for my bedroom tonight. I don't use central heat. We rarely need heat. We rarely need heat here. I have enough equipment in here that I've never used the heat in this unit. It has heat. It's a 220 unit. It's like this is a unit that would go into a hotel room. It's that size unit. And but it has heat. I've never turned it on. All the 8 or 9 computers all stay up and running in here, as well as 3 or 4 of the monitors. So even overnight, it won't get it. It'll stay 72 degrees in here all night without heat. I did insulate this very well when I built it. I dried it in myself and insulated it and wired it myself. Now the neat thing about this. The cold here is we don't normally get this cold down here. We normally, on average, will get down to this cold two, maybe three times a year. So it's pretty rare. And we get below freezing about once every other year. So not all that common. I may have a little frost on the windshield this morning. They are telling our farmers points north and east of me that they could see brief temperatures below freezing tonight, down to 31. And that's very important down here for our farmers. We grow lots of citrus and soft vegetables down here, and those things cannot handle the cold at all. Okay, so let's see who we got in the chat room. Hey, Gator, Deploribus. Hey, everybody. Hey, Victor. Glad you guys are all here tonight. And JK, what's up, man? How's it going? Yeah. Operator is probably my favorite Jim Croce song, because if you listen to that song, it is so amazing. He wants to call his old girlfriend that left him. His old girlfriend left him for his best friend. That happens. And years later, he's down and out. He's at the end of his rope. It's raining. It's crappy. He's got an old matchbook with her phone number on it, and he can't read the number. And he's trying to get the operator. Remember back in the day when you could dial 0 and there would actually be a human that wanted to help you? Anyway, and the song's actually about the call to the operator. And by the time we get to the third verse, he's like, you know what? Never mind. It's a great song. Everybody likes Bad Bad Leroy Brown or whatever that song's called. That's my least favorite song of his. I like a lot of his folksy stuff, his other stuff. I even like some of the more obscure stuff that he did. Mr. Bojangles, for instance, different things like that. So Jim Croce, God rest his soul, one of the best out there. And by the way, he's been gone 50 years. So kind of hard to believe. Wow, minus 12 and 115. See, the absolute hottest it's ever got here is 100, and that was like 2 different days over the last 150 years. So really 98, 99 is about as hot as it gets here. And as cold as it gets here, 28. We had a few nights, but even in town, our sensor at Page Field never gets below 30. But out in the suburbs, east suburbs of Fort Myers, you can get down to 27, 28. The Christmas of 1980, Christ, I don't know, it was right around, it was very, very late 80s, 88, 89, one of those 2 years. We had back-to-back freezes 2 nights in a row, 29 and 29 at my fire station with a high of 42. Now, to some of you guys, you just rolled your eyes. This was a record. It set records all the way back till the time they invented the thermometer and shit. So it was kind of a big deal back then. All right, so let's take a look at our grid tonight. We are watching Fox weather up in the upper right as we've got lake effect snow happening again tonight. And we are going to be watching that as we go on. We've got a number of storm chasers out here driving down the roads, and we're going to be following. Actually, we don't have a lot. We've got a few, but we're going to be following them. But here again, lake effect snow set up. Remember last night we went in depth on this. Not as bad tonight, but we are still seeing lake effect snow here. And this is an area where it can be pretty bad, and also up in this area here. Those are the 2 areas where we're still seeing the lake effect snow tonight, and then also down here. You can see it here and probably there too. So still getting it tonight, but not near as pronounced as last night. I mean, last night this was a big incident. Last night it was something freaking else. And hold on, let me get this. Let me flip this and that and the other thing. It's hard producing for yourself. Oh, what the hell happened there? Hold on, let me figure out what's wrong with this. I switched cameras, but it should have switched on here too. I don't understand what's going on. Ooh. That's weird. Man, this thing is flaky sometimes. This is what it's supposed to be, camera 5. So what's the problem? Oh, there we go. I gotta click that button. All right, there we go, guys. Sorry. Producing, directing, and troubleshooting while I'm supposed to be talking. All right, so we've got two storm chasers up, Vince Welty and Logan Estrich, and they are both up in the Midwest up here. And I know at least one of them here is west of Milwaukee. All right, so there you go. We are going to be continuing to watch what we've got here, and I'll be continuing to bring you the latest. But I got to tell you, this is what it is. It's just the storm coming through. However, they are expecting this polar vortex to come through, which is one of the things we're going to be talking about tonight a little bit. This polar vortex is something else. It says slick spots, okay. Yeah, they're expecting 1 to 3 more inches, it looks like, overnight through the area here. But they are expecting this polar vortex to set up, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I know that the forecasting was all a little high down here. As it got closer and closer, they kept dialing our temperatures down. They were originally telling us 43, then 41, then 39, 35, and now the latest forecast is for us to get down to about 33 or 34 tonight right here in North Fort Myers. So we're going to be right at freezing. Well, thanks, Larry. I appreciate that. We're on every night at 9 o'clock. We're on for about 2 to 2.5 hours a night, and we cover mostly science. I do some politics, but I try to do mostly science. I prefer that, and it seems to do the best. So let me see if I can fix this logo up. We are watching Times Square, and what the hell's going on here? Let me refresh this. Okay, that's what's wrong. All right, hold on. Let me refresh this one now. Will that work? Yes, there we go. All right, so you can see where they're setting up for the tomorrow night's event there in Times Square, right above me here. Above that, we've got the two storm chasers, and then over on the right, we've got a brisket cooking. It looks like a really nice brisket. That's really nice. Let's see if I can hit this button again and get Fox to come back on. There we go. This is Fox Weather, and they are covering what's going on here. This is really the only news tonight. I did want to discuss a little bit of space weather with you guys. A geomagnetic storm on New Year's Day, okay? They are expecting a geomagnetic storm on New Year's Day. 2026 could begin with a storm. NOAA forecast models predict a glancing blow from a CME on the 1st. If the impact actually occurs, it could spark a G1 class geomagnetic storm with auroras around the Arctic Circle. So this doesn't affect most of us, but I just wanted to mention it as we do science here. Okay, and yes, we'll Minnesota, yeah. We'll talk about Minnesota for sure, and not just the weather, if you know what I mean. So anyway, there's been spaceweather.com is featuring a set of photos that you guys should go check out when you get a chance. A man has taken his backyard telescope and he's taken some really nice images that he stitched together into this one big image of the moon, and it's actually really cool. I was kind of checking it out earlier. He took his picture on December 29th. Incredibly, it's less than the picture that you see on their page there is only about 5% of the actual photo that he has. And then the last thing is with space weather, it's the summer. In the summer of 2024, NASA announced that the star named T Coronae Borealis was about to explode. It'll fuel the next generation of scientists, according to the space agency. Almost 2 years later, our wait continues. Amateur astronomer Eric David said, who photographed the star's locations on December 30th. And I do have that here I can show you as well. But here, let me see if I can get that up for you. Give me just 1 second here. Oh, I got to work on all this. It's pretty bad. All right. Okay, so this image here, it's not going to be framed right. I really don't care. That's all I can do. Okay, this image here shows you all the different locations during the different photographs that he took, and here's what happened with this thing, so you guys know. The thing is about to explode. How do we know this? Well, several things. Number one, it's reaching. It's still near minimum brightness. It's down at the lowest brightness. That means it should be about to trigger off. However, what really is interesting is this is a recurrent nova. That means it erupts not just once, but over and over again. It explodes. It exploded in 1866. That was the first time the nova had been observed by astronomers, and it was actually the very first nova that had ever been seen by human eyes, at least that they knew what they were looking at. No one knew what caused it necessarily at first. Another blast in 1946 established its period of 79 to 80 years and led researchers to the modern interpretation. It is a binary star system consisting of an ancient red giant circled by a hot white dwarf. Hydrogen from the red giant spills onto the surface of the white dwarf. It takes about 80 years to accumulate the critical mass necessary, and then boom, thermonuclear explosion occurs. So why hasn't the nova exploded? Well, it might be as simple as NASA's announcement was a little premature. 80 years after the last explosion would be 2026. The new year could bring the explosion still after all. So the way the math works out, it's kind of like we're still in the window. I think it's going to go off. We'll see. It's going to put out a bright, something pretty bright that we'll be able to see and photograph. And we've got a lot of stuff aimed at this thing right now. So hopefully we'll get some good pictures of it, unlike the A3i Atlas, which they've provided absolutely shit for pictures of. There you go. WWV, Fort Collins, Colorado. Tampa Aurora should be elevated. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, they're going to be in the upper. They're going to be way up, though. I don't think they're going to come down that far. Don't hold your breath. Exactly. They do. Geomagnetic storms mean that the ionosphere is in a huge state of flux. And that means, generally speaking, that means that it could disrupt your communications completely. However, you can also bounce communications off auroras. And during solar storms and auroras and things like that, you get strange propagation in all the different bands from 50 megahertz on up. It even can affect VHF during bad solar storms. And what it can do is it can create situations where your signal is bouncing and skipping, basically. And so, especially in bands like 20 and 40 megahertz, 6 megahertz, it's a little weird with 6, but when you get up to 10 and 12 and 15, you're really into some stuff that's very affected by the solar, very affected by the ionosphere. So auroras are caused by the same thing that can also cause radio blackouts, if that answers your question. What are you doing with my mic? Don't mess with the mic, Mama Kitty. What are you doing tonight, huh? What are you doing? What are you doing? You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Hi, everybody. I'm Mama Kitty. Hi, I'm Mama Kitty. Yeah. She's so pretty. She's my old girl. All right. Yeah, that's right. That's what I said. All right. So, hey, Texas, I'm waving. You got to look over here. I'm across the Gulf of America. All right, so that's what's going on spaceweather.com. That's spaceweather.com. And our current, let's see, I have it here. I just have to remember what I did with it. Yes, Mama. Here we go. Here's our solar report, guys. This is our solar report for the 31st of December, and you're probably thinking, but wait, it's not the 31st yet. That's Greenwich Mean Time. It's 1:10 in the morning, Greenwich Mean Time, or general your basically your meridian there, and so it's already after midnight in England, so therefore it's technically the 31st of December. Zulu or Greenwich Mean Time, whatever you want to call it. Universal Time, Standard Time. Jesus, there's 100 things to call it. All right. Anyway, there you go. Your solar flux back up to 182. Not bad. We want that over 200. When that's really high, that's a lot of energy up in the atmosphere. That helps the propagation of HF radio. However, what we want to see is a low K index, which is a 1. That's not bad. A K index of 1 is not bad. And we've got a low signal to noise ratio there at S0 to S1. And so this is not a bad solar forecast. If you're wanting to go out and do 20 meters POTA tomorrow, probably not going to be a bad day to do that. But anyway, that is the current solar report out there as it is. All right. What else do we got going on tonight? Let's take a look at launches. If you're new to the channel, we are on every night like this. I do mostly science. I am trying to do 7 nights a week at this point. I do 1 to 3 hours a night, depending on my health and depending on how much news is going on, depending on Mama Kitty, if she can stand it that long. And so I'm here, and we like to do this. If you like this kind of content, please hit the like and subscribe. And hit the little notification bell on this channel. Please go to our backup channel, Starship After Dark. Over there you will find programming that goes on without a host. You don't need to hit the bell over there, though, because it'll drive you nuts. You just want to hit the bell on this channel, because all the hosted stuff is on Starship Adventures. All of the unhosted stuff, or the static stuff, whatever you guys want to call it, the 7.2 feed, the MMSS TV, the ham clock, and the ham radio, which is called oh my god, pile-up radio, and all that is over on Starship After Dark. That's Starship After Dark. And right now you're on Starship Adventures. Over here it is all hosted coverage. All right, so we've got and by the way, the radio station's coming along. I'm going to be going to break here in another 15 minutes or so. There's going to be a 6-minute break where I'm going to play you guys another song. I got 4 more songs debuting today over on the channel. They're already over there. They're already playing in the loop. We're up to about 49 songs now, or 50, right in that area. So we're about to break that 50 threshold on songs. Once I get to 100 songs, I'm going to put the channel over on a different computer and start streaming it. And I'm going to start putting it on streaming Broadcastify and Spotify, and maybe not Broadcastify, but Spotify and TuneIn, and everywhere that podcasts and live radio can be heard. I am going to be putting that up. So I haven't figured out exactly what platform yet, but it is going to be going up. Let's see. Okay, yeah, Western Oklahoma. I've had friends from Oklahoma. I had a friend that worked the worked on a rig that drilled the oil wells up there, and he used to drive the rigs and run the rigs and stuff. And boy, the stories he told me, something else out there out in the desert. All right, so let's see here. What else do we got? Yeah, I've never been to Oklahoma. I've been out to Carlsbad Caverns, out to Nevada, and places like that. I don't think we spent much time, if any, in Oklahoma. I'm not even sure if I've actually went through there or not. All right, so anyway, let's keep moving here. What else do we got going on tonight? I'm gonna try to this next few days. I've still got the radio in the car. It's so cold here now. I don't like it sitting in the car because of the heat mostly. And theft and other things, but the heat's the biggest thing. Well, there's no heat this week, so I've just left it in the car. I've kind of been playing around with it. So tomorrow I'm gonna have about an hour to kill in my car. So I'm gonna sit there and work POTA for a while, and yeah, Carlsbad Caverns. I was 3. I have several vague memories of it, and we've also got some film that was taken of it. You can actually go back on my channel and type. Well, you can look for the section on my channel. Um, oh crap! What are they? I forget. Playlists. Here we go. I have a playlist called. I don't know if you guys know I did this. I guess we could talk about this for just a minute. Um, I do something that I don't know. I think it's cool. I've got about 10 more to put up, and I will eventually get them all put up. But what I've done, I've got a series called Saved in Time, and in this playlist called Saved in Time, you will find that there's a bunch of videos in there that I've done. There's 4 or 5 of them so far, where I took B-reel that my family shot back in the late 60s and early 70s. And I thought that I think that it's important to try to save as much as we can of these old reels. And so, where is it now? Jesus. Incredible. So what I did was I went back and we took a bunch of old video that we had, and I took it to a local place, and 8 millimeter, and they took that 8 millimeter and they redid it and put it on video. So I now have it on video, and I really like that because I feel like I've saved it. I feel like I've saved it, and it's now there for all time. Had I not done it, had I not put that on, then one day that piece of film would have been gone, and it would have just absolutely, and it would be gone forever. There would be no way to retrieve it. And so I felt it was necessary to do this. So what I did was I started going back and finding ones that don't have me in it, that don't have my family in it, just stuff that's like just be real. And I was actually surprised. Why are you climbing the ladder, Mama Kitty? I was very surprised at how much of it there was out there of just literally. It was literally just the um, uh, my dad just shooting B-roll. I mean, he shot it. He shot some amazing B-roll. This is the Grand Canyon 1971. This was shot on my mom and dad's high 8 video rig. Um, they shot a lot of video, and it's good stuff. I mean, it's old, but you can still see like what they were taking shots of and stuff. Um, there we are driving in our big white station wagon, whatever the hell that thing was. But had I not done this, this video would have eventually, this celluloid would have broke down and these images would be lost forever. Now they're here. They're on YouTube forever, hopefully. And they'll still be here uh, in the conceivable future. I have felt that this is important. And you know, when I feel something's important, then, you know, then yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try my best to do what I can to preserve it, and that's basically what I've done. I'm looking for. Oh, where's the playlist? For God's sake! YouTube is just not all that intuitive sometimes, especially like if it's hard for me to find my own shit. How hard is it for you guys to find my shit? You know, that's the kind of stuff I think about. Um, where's this one? Here we go. This is the one I wanted to show you guys. This one is actually in Carlsbad Caverns. My dad shot most of this, and this was in 1973, 1973 New Mexico. And I think it's important, you know. Yeah, it's crappy quality, but it's a picture and it's a view into time. This was 3 years after, 4 years after I was born, and we've got this now saved forever because it's on YouTube, and that's why I think it's important for all of us to do this. Now, I'm not saying put your family, you know, family pictures up there and stuff. Notice you don't see my family in these. It's just the B-roll. But if you got a bunch of B-roll of something, or if you captured something, maybe a bad car crash 20 years ago, or a building fire 10 years ago, put it up. Um, if you want it preserved, send it to me with the information, and I'll put it up. I can keep it anonymous where it came from. It's just, I think we should try to preserve our history for all time. And when you go back to the 40s and the 30s and the 20s, there's very little of it that's been saved. Very little of it that exists today. Isn't that right, Mama Kitty? What were you doing? Climbing the ladder? Yeah, the Rangers that used to take you down there, they wear full uniforms with badges and the campaign hats and the whole bit. I bet you today they wear shorts and a t-shirt, maybe some tennis shoes. We've lost all of our ability to be formal, especially in Florida down here. And I have to admit, I fought it for years. I fought the fire department going away from traditional uniforms. I fought the sheriff's department going away from traditional uniforms. They all have by now. They all wear bullshit now. They look like slobs. And I have fought for years that, you know, it just putting on the right clothes for the right whatever you're doing is important. It shows people your sincerity and that you're not a scumbag. And that's just kind of been gone. It's lost now, you know. And I hate to see that, but it's happened. And now, like in the last 10 or 15 years, I just don't give a shit anywhere. I don't give a shit anymore. I wear shorts and flip flops everywhere. I don't give a shit. I literally don't give a shit anymore. Now, if I'm at work, I dress to go to work. I dress in a collared shirt. I dress in slacks, nice black shoes. I'm always dressed nice for work. When I go, if I go to court or I go to something, then of course I do it. I wear a suit. I've got several suits. And where is my freaking mouse? This next one here, real quick, I just shove you just for a second here. I'll give you an idea of another one. This is Daytona Bike Week. Daytona Bike Week from 1970. And this was captured by my dad when he was out there. Him and my uncle went, and they were all there at Daytona for Bike Week. And this is 1970. Look at the police officer in his hat and his nice shirt, long sleeves, tie. You couldn't find a cop in a tie today at a funeral. You're lucky if they even put clothes on. A lot of these cops, they walk around like slobs, like they walk around like in a McDonald's shirt or something, and then they put a vest on over it. And it's like, dude, you look like a freaking slob. It's like, go put a uniform on. Yes. Yeah, people used to. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't go all the way back. Look, in the 1950s and 60s, you would wear a suit to a baseball game. Okay? You can go back and look at images from the 60s, Yankee Stadium, early 60s, 50s, Yankee Stadium. Go back and look at the pictures. They're wearing suits and ties to the game, and the women are wearing big dresses and fancy hats. Yeah, I knew some guys in high school that bought those things it's a collar and the top of a shirt and a tie, and then you put that on and you button up the two buttons on it, and then when you put your robe on, it looks like you're all dressed in a shirt and a tie underneath, and they were wearing like a t-shirt and shorts under there, and they had that thing on, and I don't think they got caught. They made such a big deal about it. I'm surprised they didn't get caught. But I guess it didn't matter as long as you looked like you had on, nice clothes under there. Yeah, the old railroad stuff's cool. Yeah, there's some of that on. I think that was my uncle's camper there, that white one. And I don't know who that hippie was. One of them people's my dad. I'm not going to tell you which one. But anyway, God bless his soul. Anyway, those were all their friends and stuff. They used to love going out there. They went every year to Daytona. And look at the old cars, man. This is saved forever now. It's on YouTube. Yeah, I think it's important to do this, and so I did it. Anyway, this is Daytona Bike Week, early 1970s, is what it says, and there you go. My Lord, isn't that a great panning view? Um, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do with this stuff. You guys are not gonna be shocked. You'll be like, oh yeah, it doesn't surprise me. In the next year or so, it'll be easy for me to just take this and throw it in AI, and it'll remaster it back to almost perfect. You think I'm crazy? It does look like the Peter Fonda days. What's that movie, Easy Rider? That was my dad's favorite damn movie, Easy Rider. Oh, he watched that movie all the time, dude. He loved it. We had a big poster in the garage of that dude on the big long motorcycle. Yeah, if you guys have old movies, every day you wait. I don't care if they're on video, if they're on high 8 tape. I'm sorry. Let me go back. If they're on 35 millimeter magnetic tape, VHS magnetic tape, if they're on Betamax magnetic tape, those age at several percent per year. So in other words, if they're 30 or 40 years old, you've already lost about 40% of the 40% of the data on there, 50% of the data. It's going to be old, but you'll still be able to recover off of it. The film, on the other hand, the magnetic tape, believe it or not, the magnetic tape is slowly erased by the magnetic field of the Earth. I'm not shitting you. The Earth is erasing your tapes a little bit every day. Now, the celluloid in the film is breaking down every day. Every day that it's exposed to oxygen, it degrades just a little bit more, and that degradation will continue forever. Eventually, it will be too stiff to play, and it will just fall apart. And also, we had 2 or 3 films that we recovered the film, but you couldn't hardly see anything. By the way, this is Daytona Bike Week, 1970, shot by my dad in the stands during the actual race, the big race. And here they come. This is back when the stock cars were stock cars. Yeah. NASCAR. It's stock car. That's what it stands for. Stock car. And there's nothing stock in a stock car now. There's nothing stock in a stock car. Not one bolt, not one screw, not one alternator, starter, transmission, lug bolt, shifter knob. There's not one thing on there. But they still call them stock cars. Stock cars. Jesus. Literally, the race is exact opposite of how it started. It started, you brought your stock car, meaning you brought the shit how it came from the factory and you raced it. Anyway, it's funny to think about that because it's literally the exact opposite today. There's not a single stock thing on any. Oh, they say, oh, it's a Ford Taurus. They shaped the fiberglass shell to kind of look like a Ford Taurus. It's a Ford Taurus, my ass. Oh, God. The Richard Petty days. The Goodrich blimp. Yep. The 70s were awesome. I was in my single digits in the 70s, and I kind of wish I was in my teens. It would have been more fun, but then again, I'd be 10 years closer to death right now, so I'm kind of happy the way it came out. I've actually sat in those stands very close to where this was shot from. Now, they've been changed and rebuilt and all since then, but I sat there and watched a race. I'm going to be totally honest. Watch it at home on your big screen. It's a much, 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 much better show. Why is that cat going over the fence? Anyway, I have a friend that had a missing cat. I can't get too, I don't want to get too personal here, but I had a cat that I adopted to someone, and it got out of the house and ran away. And we've been so worried about this cat, and something happened to it. Something got a hold of it. You know, when your cat disappears, okay, there's several things you have to do. You have to go up and put a picture up at the store. You have to go up and put a picture at the local store. I got a cat back through a picture at a local store. She got a cat back from a picture at a local store. So you have to do that. Number 2, you have to go to your Humane Society and fill out the paper so that if someone brings your cat in there, they don't just immediately euthanize it. The chips, I'm mixed on those. If you get them, that's great. If you don't want to get them, I understand, because there is some issues with those. But they're getting better, and I almost side on getting the chip at this point. I used to be against them, but I side on getting the chip because people are getting their animals back, and and that's important. If you're gonna have a vicious dog and he's gonna attack everybody, then probably don't get him chipped. But as far as cats go, definitely get them chipped. Probably a good idea now. They're having less and less issues going forward, and then if that cat's found anywhere in the country, they can find you. Yeah, be home when the street lights come on. That was kind of the rule at my house for years. Yep. Um, Yeah, my parents trusted me. I was a very trustworthy child. My brother was not. My brother got in more trouble than you could shake a stick. But I I didn't have that problem. I knew what to do. I did it right because I wanted all my privileges. My goal in life. What is this stupid ad playing? Get off my screen, dumbass. Um, my goal, my entire goal, was to be treated like an adult. I was one of those uh, way ahead of my years kind of kids, and all I wanted was to be treated like an adult. You know, I didn't want to go in the kiddie room. I didn't want to sit at the little table. I was an adult. I wanted to be an adult, and I walked around, I dressed like an adult. I talked like an adult. I got involved in conversations. I even did my own little activism and stuff back then. Because I didn't even like children when I was a child. It was kind of weird. I knew I would never have children because I really don't like them. Yes, I'm firstborn. Well, I never needed the punishment. I knew what it was, but I never needed it. I was never drugged to the car by my arm and had my ass beat and locked in the car until we were done eating. That was my brother. That was the standard routine when we ate out. He would eventually be drug out to the 1976 Cougar, and he would have his ass beat, and he'd be thrown in that Cougar, and my dad would lock the door and tell him that if he opened the door, he's going to kill him. And that was it. That was how I grew up, with my brother being drug out of restaurants by his arm. No, I know JS8 call. I've never tried it. I installed it a couple times. I've gone through videos. I tried to get it going, and there was never anybody on a frequency. And I don't know. It was one of those things. I tried it, but if there was something we could do with it or something, maybe. But there's just so few people using it. So I don't know. I'm not against it. But I also don't want to sit and keyboard talk to somebody over the radio. Yeah. Well, my dad had to get involved with discipline. It was pretty rough, but I didn't experience much of that. Yes. Yes, well, and that's why we actually assign the cats here middle names, because how else would they know they're truly in trouble? Every cat I have has two names. Yep. Yeah, you hear your full name, you're in trouble. You're absolutely in big trouble. All right, guys, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I'm not feeling well. I'm going to take a 5-minute break and see how this goes, and then we'll come back and we'll do the second half. This next song I'm going to play, it's about 5.5 minutes here. It's called Fading Glow, the Old Shack Blues. This one's about just missing the old days of tube radios and hanging around the shack and all kinds of fun stuff like that. Just basically the good old days of ham radio. This is Starship Adventures. My name's Ian. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Well, I sit here in the quiet of my modern little room, staring at the screen where the waterfall blooms. But my mind drifts back to nights long ago, when the shack was alive with that warm orange glow. Vacuum tubes humming, soft as a sigh, paper log open, pencil close by. I tune across a band, hear the crackle and fade of AM voices calling from a world handmade. Stockcake.com, Facebook, com block, the tubestore.com. Oh, operator, can you help me find that time when the signals were strong and the nights were kind? With my hands, feeling young and free. Now it's all gone digital, cold and clean. No more ink on the page, no more tube-lit scene. The years roll on like a fading QSO, and I miss those old days more than you'll ever know. I remember stringing copper through the trees, Heathkit glowing on the bench in front of me, soldering iron hot schematic in my lap. Every contact earned, every new DX a map. Handwritten call signs, neat careful rows. Signal reports fading as the gray dawn grows. The crackle of static like rain on the roof, whispering secrets that felt like the truth. On allbands.com, Facebook, come ready to come. Oh, operator, can you help me find that time when the signals were strong and the nights were kind? The long wire swaying in the midnight breeze, building kits with my hands, feeling young and free. Now it's all gone digital, cold and clean. No more ink on the page, no more tube-lit scene. The years roll on like a fading QSO, and I miss those old days more than you'll ever know. The bands are buried in noise, city lights drowning out the old joys. The software decodes what I used to chase by ear, perfect prints replacing the logs I hold dear. No more waiting for the skip to roll in slow, just clicks and waterfalls telling me where to go. I fire up the rig, but it don't feel the same without that warm glow calling my name. I pull out the old book, pages yellow and warm, trace the faded ink where dreams were born. Calls from stations silent now for years, friends gone SK, leaving only tears. Time keeps marching, taking piece by piece, the simple magic that brought me peace. Kurt Perdon, pride to become. Maybe someday young up will see the beauty in the old ways, the way it used to be. Dust off a tube rig, string up a wire, feel the wonder that set my soul on fire. But tonight I'm just sitting here alone, with memories crackling like a distant tone. Oh, operator, that's not the way it feels when the glow is gone and the heart don't heal. The long wires down, the kits are on the shelf, and I'm calling out to yesterday itself. The years roll on like a final sign-off, 73 to the days we lost in this high noise world. I'm just hanging on to the fading echo of a simpler song. Yeah, the fading glow of the old shack blues.
There we go, the old shack blues. There you go, guys. I wrote that one earlier with the help of AI, of course. And Mama Kitty, the three of us put that together earlier. And just a great old song to, you know, if you're an old ham from way back, cat ass right in the face. Thank you. She's like, smell it while it's there. Anyway, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they don't teach cursive. I have mixed emotions on that. Traditionally, I think they should still teach it. However, I also believe in what I normally preach, which is we're teaching way too much shit to these kids that they don't need to know. They don't need to know the name of the general that led the South on the Battle of Gettysburg on the third day after the other guy was killed. They don't need to know that. They don't need to know that. And cursive sometimes has to fall in that category. Do they need to know cursive? The whole they won't be able to read the Constitution. Somebody's already translated it, I think. Check it out. I don't think I really, you know, so I'm mixed on the cursive. I'll admit to you guys, I'm not a hard line on getting rid of the cursive. But when because I'm a traditionalist, okay? But that being said, I believe when it comes to education, we need to teach the important things hard, and we need to leave the rest out. They taught me about World War II several times through school. They never once taught us what it was fought about, what it was fought over, what changed after it, what was fascism, what was socialism, what was communism, what was Nazism. They didn't teach about the isms. You know what they taught about? What battle started in 1941 and stretched on for 2 years and went up through that's what they taught. And truthfully, the battles don't matter. The name of the tanks that they use don't matter. There's only two things that matters. The men we lost, the people we lost, because we lost women too. The people we lost, and the lessons we learned. That's all that really matters. And those are the two things they really don't teach much about. They don't teach the kids the raw truth about the dead men, and they don't teach the children about what the war was really fought over and who won and why they had to win in order to bring about the life that we have today. None of that's taught. And it sucks. But they'll spend weeks and weeks and weeks having you memorize the people that led this battle and the president that signed this in the office and this and that. None of that matters. All that matters is the men we lost and what we gained at the end, what we ended up with at the end, what was left, and what we had to put together and why it ended. People come out of school today and they think, my teacher told us that America did a bad thing. We dropped this really bad bomb on Japan and we're just a bunch of assholes. What? I mean, that's what? You know, I mean, I'm literally like, well, yeah, they told us we dropped this big bad bomb and this and that. I'm like, what? Those bombs saved millions of lives. They ended a world war that would have went on for years. Had we not set off those bombs, Germany was just months away from having their bombs. So when you really add it all up, when you start making it sound like we were the bad guys because we dropped the bomb, first of all, we didn't attack first, okay? They attacked us. They attacked Pearl Harbor. That's the bottom line, okay? So we had the right to strike them back. And people say, well, yeah, but we blew up their homeland. They blew up Pearl Harbor. They attacked homes on Pearl Harbor that had women living in them. So don't give me the whole bullshit about that either. So this is the kind of stuff when people get out of school today, they don't understand, okay, that those 2 bombs that we dropped have brought an era of peace. We are now great friends with the Japanese. They build the best radios ever, okay? They're awesome folks now. We get along great with them. We just had to tune them up. I don't mean to make that sound terrible, but we just had to say, look, we're not going to stand for this. Boom. Do it again. Boom. Okay, we're done. And that was it. And then that's it. And the war was over at that point, meaning that all the millions of people that would have died didn't die. Oh, they killed 200,000 people. Yeah. That's just a fraction of who would be dead if we didn't do it. But that's not taught in school. So what happens is kids come out of school with this weird, confused feelings about war because they really weren't taught exactly what happened. You know, they really weren't taught about the things that happened in the order they happened and why they had to happen and what would happen if they didn't happen. Because the teachers that are teaching them don't like bombs. So they teach them that big bad American people drop big bad bombs on poor people, defenseless people. Because no. If the story's told properly, then it comes out just like reality did. Comes out okay. They're our friends now. We saved millions of lives. That's how the story comes out. And this spin that we put on it in our schools. Do you have a kid in school? Get his history book and look up World War II and read what they say. Look at it. I mean, it's not just the liberal teachers. We've got to fix the schools. We've got to fix these history books to where they're not just slap full of useless facts and the actual lessons that were learned, the reasons that we fought and lost so much blood. The reason is important. I agree with you, neighbor, and the unions have done that. The teachers' unions are evil. Oh, I am still off camera. Shit. Sorry about that. My bad. Thank you. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm going on this rant and you can't even see me, but that's all right. All you got to do is hear me, right? No, they really don't. I mean, they teach you a version of it. Now they teach that Thanksgiving was the day that we came over here and smashed the Native Americans in the head and took their shit. That's pretty much what we're being taught, even though the story's a lot deeper than that and went on for a lot longer than that and has a lot more details than that. But that's all right. We'll simplify it down. Yes. I was told in school, we were taught that Vietnam was bad and we shouldn't have went. And if someone in the United States went to Vietnam, then they were wrong for doing that. They should have not went. And that's not right. Yep. Well, you don't worry about it because you were repeating what that asshole teacher said. So you don't worry about that. You didn't do anything wrong. You came home and you asked the man that was there what happened, and that's what you should have done. Um, my uncle fought in Vietnam, and my grandfather fought the Germans in World War II in the European theater. And they both came home, thank God. All right, let me look at this.   here.   here.   here.  here.  here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here. here Wow. Joseph McCarthy. I'm going to have to read more about him. The term McCarthyism. Interesting. All right. Yeah. Thank you for that. I'm going to put that in my press notes. I always go back and research these things afterwards because I'm one of these people that I'm not going to bullshit you. If I don't know exactly what you're talking about, I look it up real quick. If I have no comment right off the top, I just tell you I'm going to research it. Let's see here. Yeah, I actually know somebody that had a father that lied about their age to get it. It was quite common. But that was the feeling back then. Was we wanted to go fight. We had to fight the Germans, and we had to fight the Germans were taking France. The Germans were starting to go into these other countries and invade these other countries, and then Japan attacks Pearl Harbor. There was a great sense of, hey, I want to go fight. I want to fight for my family that's stuck here, so that we don't lose what we have here. We don't have that feeling today, and I don't know if we could ever get that feeling back. Something really interesting happened in World War II. The Democrats locked up a whole bunch of American citizens that were Japanese. But let's not forget about that. The Democrats did that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to read more about that. But you're right. Yeah, absolutely. Because communism always falls. Socialism always fails. It's the one constant in the universe. And that's why when the left keeps saying, we need to try socialism, and then I say, well, why would you do that considering socialism has never succeeded anywhere it's ever been tried, ever, 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 anywhere, ever, in this quadrant anyway, in the alpha quadrant. It has never worked, okay? Never. And you know what the liberals' response to that statement is? Well, it just hadn't been done right yet. If you do it right, it works. It's like, no. If something always goes wrong, then it's not right to begin with. Okay? Let me tell you what does go right. Democracy goes right. A representative democracy goes right. That goes right every time. Okay? A republic where we're represented by people, that goes right every time. As long as we can keep Tim Walz and the corruption out of it. Which, by the way, brings me to something I did want to mention tonight. Now that my belly's not hurting as bad, I have been following this absolute mess, and I want you guys to do me a favor. Give me just a second here. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared for this one. There's a YouTuber, and he's the one that has exposed this whole thing, and now CNN and everybody else is writing shit on him. I like this guy. I've subscribed to him, and if I can find his information here real quick, I'm going to give it to you too. MSNBC or MS Now or MSLSD or whatever they're called now. They have scrubbed the entire story from their websites because it looks real bad for the left. This is an unprecedented, meaning never this bad before, amount of fraud that's going on right now in Wisconsin. And before we get too mad at our Wisconsin people, this shit's going on everywhere. It just happens to be really, really bad there because it's mostly nationals doing it, and a lot of them are Somalis. And so anywhere you have a big, and people say, oh, listen to him, oh, he's racist son of a bitch. Listen to that racist son of a bitch over there, Somali. I don't give a shit. They've arrested 92 people so far in Minnesota. 82 of them were Somali. Now, is that fact or is that racist? I don't care. I'm telling you, that's the facts. And anywhere you find a high concentration of Somali nationals living or even Somali citizens living, anytime you see that, Somalis illegal living, you have a problem. They've got a law in Wisconsin. When you go to vote, You can bring up to 8 people with you, and you can vouch for each of them as to who they are. So every person with an ID can vouch for 8 more people. And all they need to do is give their name. And they get to vote, and the vote goes in. It's not a what do they call a pending ballot or anything. It goes right in, and it can't be pulled back out. Ohio's a mess. They've got a large Somali pop there as well, and there's a bunch of places to do. And you know, Somalia, this is one of the places where they go, the pirates go out and steal our ships full of cars and shit. You know, this is what's going on. These are the people that go out and hold our boat. Captain Phillips, watch the movie. Good Tom Hanks flick. They don't assimilate. That's the problem. You know, I got friends next door from Cuba. I got friends over here that are from Mexico. I get along great with them. You want to know something? They're assimilating here. They love our culture. They're learning the language. They got their kids in school here. They're paying their taxes. They're going to work every day. I love these people, right? They're the best. I love them because they work hard. Now, the white trash down the streets all got warrants. They're all going to jail. But my neighbors here are great. And the reason they're great is because right from the get-go, they came here wanting to assimilate. They didn't come here wanting to change my neighborhood into a Cuban neighborhood, or change my neighborhood into a Mexican neighborhood, or change my neighborhood into a Guatemalan neighborhood or a Haitian neighborhood. They came here because they wanted to live our lifestyle. That doesn't mean they hate their own culture. They can still eat their own food and do their own stuff and worship their God the way they want. But they came here wanting to be part of our culture. And they're willing to assimilate to a pretty far degree in order to be a part of our culture. That's so important. These Somalis we're talking about, however, they have no interest at all in becoming part of our culture. The only reason they even learn about our culture is so that they can exploit it. That's right, they came to be Americans. They wanted our life here. They love our life. They come here, and they're working hard to get it. And they're good people, and they got good kids. They watch our house, and we go out of town. We watch theirs. We both got camera systems. It works out great. And you know what? I love it. I love people that come here and work hard and appreciate what we have here. Because a lot of the white trash down the street, that's their problem. They don't appreciate what they've got here. They don't understand how shitty it is just 90 miles south of Key West. They don't understand how shitty the bottom half of this whole continent is. It's just, they don't get it. And so they take what we have here completely for granted. Where my other neighbors here, they don't. They're from Cuba, and let me tell you something. They love the freedom here. They love our president. They love everything about this place. They pay their taxes and they smile. They go to work every day. They're clean. Their yard looks a lot better than mine. And that's what we're looking for. People that want to come here and be like us. Not completely assimilate, but assimilate. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're looking for. We're just looking for people that want to come here and fit in with us, because this is our country. That's the biggest problem with Somalia. They're not only just coming here and they're not fitting in, they're not assimilating, okay? But even worse than that, they have found incredible ways to fleece our country and our states out of billions and hundreds of billions of dollars. And it's rampant, it's out of control, and I'm telling you something, Donald Trump is going to deal with this shit like a hammer. All right? They'll be calling that man Thor when this is over with. He's going to deal with this with a hammer, especially considering old jazz hands Tim Waltz, tampon Tim Waltz is involved in this shit. Texas, Texas mouse, that's funny. Yeah, yeah, you do have to be a little careful with that. um, that's the whole point. You're moving somewhere because you like the way it is here, right? You're moving here because you like the fact that we've got a good economy, that we've got a lot of say in what we do, right? You're moving here because you like what we're doing, right? And you like it here. But then the first thing you do when you move here is you try to change it. I don't understand. Why would you try to change it? If you came here because you liked it, and then the first thing you do is try to change it back, I got news for you. And write this down. Are you ready? Somalia's a shithole. Okay? It's the shithole that we put shitholes in. Okay? It's a shithole, and they're not doing anything to make it better. They come over here and they commit hundreds and hundreds of $billions in fraud, and guess where that money goes? Back to Somalia. They're sending our tax money back to Somalia to support pirates and terrorists and slums. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous what's going on right now. And I think that it's going to come down like a hammer. I'm telling you, he's sending FBI there like crazy. Every alphabet agency right now is hiring experienced law enforcement officers at a record rate. Okay? Even ICE is hiring you. Even if you have no law enforcement experience at all, ICE will hire you and give you a $10,000 sign-on bonus. Now, you receive that over the course of a year, but still, you get to all the money at the end of the year if you survive your first year and make it through the academy. The point is they're ramping this up to get rid of this fraud. They're ramping this up to get rid of this illegal immigration. And I for one, hate to see increasing the size and scope of government. I hate to see us increasing the size and scope of government. But guess what? We are being taken advantage here at a monumental rate, at a rate that's like, it's absolutely incredible. And it's not just state money, it's federal money. So don't sit there in Florida and Texas and think, hey, that shit ain't happening in my state. Number one, it is happening in your state. It may be at a much lower level, but it is happening at your state. And number two, a lot of it's federal money, which means it's coming out of your pocket too. So there you go. We got to crush this shit. We have to put all of these people in prison. I'm telling you, that's how you stop this. All right, let me get this. Let me get this name. I want you guys to go and support this guy. I don't normally tell you to go to other people's channels that do something similar to what I do and like them and support them, but I'm going to do it today because this man, he's the one that drew this out. And I want to I want to give him the pub here because he deserves it. And it looks like CNN has scrubbed the entire thing off their website as too. I don't see it now. They were smashing him earlier, and now they've taken it off their website. They're also doing SNAP bans on all SNAP benefits all across the country. They find out that these people are spending 60, 70, 90% of their SNAP benefits on potato chips, candy bars, and Mountain Dew. No! If I'm feeding you, by God, you're going to eat economical meals you're going to cook yourself, and you're going to drink water. If you want more than that, you go get you a job, you lazy asshole. I am sick of feeding people that don't want to work. I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. And then when we find out that they're buying steaks and they're buying pre-cooked meals and they're buying $2.50 a bottle soda so they can drink it, so they can give it to their kids. Like, what is going on here? If you are so low in your life that you need the government to feed you and your kids, by God, you cook the shit yourself. And you don't buy expensive food, and you don't buy candy bars and snacks, and you don't go in gas stations and buy pre-made shit. Ugh, Jesus. Sorry. Yep, no free sugar. There shouldn't be any free sugar. You want anything other than what sustains your life? Get a job. If you can't get a job, okay, you still need to buy economically because you're spending my money. I'm sorry. Google will tell me his name. Nick Shirley. His name is Nick Shirley, and he is the kid. He's 23 years old. I call him a kid. He's less than half my age. Yeah, I mean, I eat ramen noodles sometimes. It gets a little tight around here. I mean, you know, you have to do what you have to do. But these people they're spending my money and they're buying candy bars and potato chips. But yeah, Nick Shirley, let me get you his exact link here. Like I said, he's an investigative reporter on YouTube. He's 23 years old. He started out with kind of a prank channel years ago, and then he left. He went and did some college or something, and then after that, he became a very successful person that investigates these sort of things. And he's investigated everything from the New York street gangs all across the country, different things. He's been to different countries. I'm very surprised what this guy has done. It is very surprising. You got his link there. Please go give him a sub. Tell him I sent you. Like he would know me, but you know what I mean. But anyway, this is the actual link directly to the video. This is a link directly to the video that ended up causing all of this uproar. And right now, he's got 1.27 million subs. He is up about 100,000 subs since I started watching about this time yesterday. Was during the radio show yesterday. This video has got 2.33 million views. 2.33 million views, 52,000 comments, 218,000 thumbs up. Please add yours to it if you would. I'd appreciate it. But when you get done here with me, and I'm going to be signing off here in a few minutes, when you get done with me here tonight, go over and watch this 42-minute video. I'm telling you, this guy does good work. He's 23 years old, dude. I'm proud of it. I wish he was my kid. This guy does good work, all right? And he's a YouTuber like me. He works a lot harder than I do, and I really like this guy. So, yes, Section 8. Section 8 housing is so abused. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. You know, right now, with what I make, probably could qualify for a lot of this shit. I don't do it. I work and I spend within my means. It is a lot harder to get a lot of these benefits in Florida because over the years, we've put in a lot more checks and balances because we have been very conservative for a while now. And so there's a lot of checks and balances here. Look at this kitty. Oh my God. I don't know if you guys look at this cat. Ugh. What are you doing? She is completely laid out here, like completely. I'm getting that belly right now. She's climbing the ladder. You gotta climb that ladder. Oh, oh, she's attacking me. Oh God, I love cats. They enrich my life. PBD, what is that? Um, yeah, well, neighbor, um, if you are a certain sex or a certain ethnicity, that's going to put you at a very big disadvantage. Number one. Number two, if you actually need it, that's going to put you at some kind of disadvantage too. I haven't figured that one out yet. Um, and they do slow the process down on purpose, and I have mixed emotions on that process. I don't know what to say. I do think we shouldn't just people shouldn't be able to walk in and say I need a house, and then we say okay, third one down on the left, here's the key. There needs to be a process that makes it difficult for these people to get in the door, because we would rather they go out and get a job. Now some people can't work, and I understand that. All right, I also understand that there's a lot of people that could work, because there's a lot of jobs now that require sitting at a computer at your home. They don't even require that you leave your home, and you can make really good money. It just takes effort. And so I'm of the belief, especially with AI now, with AI helping you, you could do almost any job at home, even if you're partially disabled. So I'm not saying, again, if you absolutely need government assistance, I want you to have it, and I'll be glad to pay for it. But I want to stop all of it for everybody else that doesn't absolutely need it. No soup for you! The Soup Nazi, one of my favorite episodes of Seinfeld. Yeah, according to Tampon Tim, I am at fault for this because I'm white and I have a penis. And because of that, Caucasian and penis, my fault. So there you go. Yep, according to Jazz Hands or Tampon Tim, whatever you want to call him. We also call him Birthday Clown. This guy's got a lot of names. We literally have like 5 names for this guy at the station, but lately we've been calling him mostly Jazz Hands. If you remember that time, we played a clip today. I wish I had it right here. We played a clip today of Tampon Tim saying the reason that he was chosen to be Kamala Harris's running mate was because he could code speak to the men and work on his truck and shoot a gun. And that's why he was chosen over the other 3 or 4 guys that they were looking at, including 2 other governors, was because he could code speak to the men. He was like a coach, like a manly man, masculine, type A mother effer. He was the guy, right? And guess what? He came out there looking like a douchebag. I mean, just I look like a seal with jazz hands. I mean, just what was he doing? When they announced his name and he came out on the stage, when they said the vice president nominee is Tampon Tim Walz, he come running out there and he's pointing and he's jazzing and he's pointing and he's jazzing and he's pointing. And the first time I saw the video, I'm like, this guy's an effing birthday clown. He's a birthday clown. Look at this guy. And sure enough, he's a birthday clown. Look at this. He's the birthday clown. I used to call him that a lot, birthday clown. He's the birthday clown that you don't invite back the next year because you didn't leave him alone with your kids. Number 2, he's a douchebag. He's the kind of guy that just literally, he knew all this shit was going on and he did nothing because he's a dyed-in-the-wool leftist. That's what he is. He's a dyed-in-the-wool leftist, and he gets reelected over and over to different offices based on the fact that he coddles victims, he coddles illegals, and he fights for this class of people rather than fighting for good, honest, true, red-blooded Americans that are out here working and fighting and dying in wars and putting out fires and chasing bad guys, and people that are out here building computers and working every day in this country. Nobody cares about them. But Tampon Tim's out there for the Somalis, buddy. He's out there for these Somali daycares that have nobody. Nobody goes to these daycares. I want you guys to go watch Nick Shirley, that video link I put in. I'm going to sign off in about 10 minutes. I want you guys to go watch that video. It is amazing. He goes up to one of the places they spelled the word learning wrong. There's a sign up there. The sign's been up there for a year and a half, and the sign says Early Learning Center. It was spelled wrong. It's missing a letter. They've now gone back with tape and added the letter. It looks really bad. So the Learning Center, they bang on the door. There's nobody there. They look in. There's there's no windows in the building. It's a windowless building. It's all blocked. He goes to 10 of these places. They're all blocked. They're all blocked up. You can't see a thing. No kids, no children's footsteps. A couple of them, it had just snowed, and you could see there's been no kids walking in and out of the place all day. I mean, it's clear there's nobody there. And when they did get people to answer, it was Somalis. Man, no speaking English, and that's it. Nothing to see here. Yeah. Somalis, by design, don't assimilate. All right? Yes. And something else I noticed, and I'm going to make an observation, and please don't take this the wrong way. They show about 40 different Somali women in this video, and every one of them's over 300 pounds. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not really a weight queen. I've dated really big women. It doesn't matter to me. It's the person. But I just making an observation. These people that are frauding our government out of billions of dollars every year, these places that they're looking after 100 children, but no children ever show up, and then they get $6 million at the end of the year. And the 3 women that are in the building all weigh 350 pounds. I don't need to do that math for you guys, do I? I don't think so. So that's all I'm bringing up the weight about. I don't care about if you want to be overweight. That's your choice, okay? And around here, you might still get laid. But the point is if you're going to be frauding the government out of money, I want to know where that money's at. I know where the money's at. I know they're putting it down their gullet. That's where a lot of it's going. A snap potato chip. I love it. Deploribus, I'm not going to comment on that. It's entirely possible, though, because they do. I don't know that it is true that different races of people have a hard time distinguishing different people in different races of people. That's always been that way. I don't know why that is, okay, but it's always been that way. So it is. Well, Texas, I appreciate that. I really do. I try to bring passion to my discussion because I really do feel about these things. And remember, I did 3 hours at work today talking about this bullshit. So I've been there, done that. By the time I get into here, I generally get away from politics for a while. This one here is kind of politics, but it's not. It's fraud. And so it's brushing on politics, but this one needs to be done. It is true that that white people have a wider variety of hair colors than most of the other races, and that probably does help a little bit in the identification. But there is something about this in the human brain. It's not that we're racist. When someone says, "Look, I didn't realize you were this guy," I mean, to me, all Asian people kind of look similar. I'm sorry. That's that doesn't mean he hates Asian people. This is a thing with humans. I've heard Asian people say, "Man, all you white people look the same." I mean, it's a thing our brains do. It doesn't mean you're racist. Um, you leaving, Gator? All right, well, bye. Have a good one. I'll be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's a big night, guys. Tomorrow night's a big night. Let me go over that real quick before I sign off. Tomorrow night, we're gonna do extended coverage here. I'm gonna go on at 9 o'clock like I always do. We're gonna be covering fireworks. We're gonna be covering the what's going on in the world. We're also gonna be covering for big fires. Let me tell you guys something. We've got a drought here. There's a drought up in the mountains. I got a drought advisory for my house here and a drought advisory for my cabin in Georgia on the same day. So I'm telling you guys, we're 3 months ahead of schedule on the drought. Normally we're not this dry until April 1st. So figure that one out, because we are just starting dry season and we are already in a drought. And so hey Catherine, yeah, I'm worried about this year. We're gonna have big brush fires this year. It's gonna be bad. 26 is gonna be an interesting year. 25 was certainly an interesting year. We Inflation during this year was brought from almost 10% down to nominal levels, below nominal levels, 2%, and gas prices have gone down $1. There's a lot that's happened this year. It's getting better, a lot better than the year before. And I think next year we're going to see a lot more of that. It takes a very long time to begin to repair an economy this big that was damaged that bad. And it's not just Biden. It was also COVID. It was years of an auto pin that nobody knew what was going on. There was a lot of bad things that went on over the last 4 years before Trump. And so it's going to take a long time for this to come back. It's going to take a while for, to get all this fraud rooted out. You guys think this is when I tell you guys that this tampon Tim fraud that's going on right now in Wisconsin, if you live in Wisconsin and you feel kind of like shit right now, you're like, man, this sucks. Why does this have to go on in my state? It does suck, but guess what? It's going on everywhere else too. Just give it time. All right, you're in the spotlight now. It's going to be shifting. Ohio might be next. There's several other Michigan. There's several other states right near you that have a very high Somali population. And if you don't think agents are out there right now beating on doors, you're nuts, because this is a big deal right now. It's my understanding that they're pulling agents off of old cases. They're doing everything they can to send hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of FBI agents to Wisconsin. This is going to rip wide open. And then once they rip it open and they get all these subpoenas and they get all this information, and they've already started this. They got 92 in custody so far. As this, 82 of the 92 are Somali nationals. All right, so what's going to happen is they're going to find out how they're doing this, where the connections are, where it's all coming through, what computer systems are being used, what networks, how it's all being funneled, how they were filling out the paperwork and getting away with the fake paperwork. All that will be figured out by the FBI as part of this investigation. And so as they figure all that out, it'll be a lot easier to figure it out in the next state and the next state. And it's going to get better and better and better. And so I think that this is going to go on. And next year, I think this is going to be the big story of next year as well, is the fraud. It started out this year with Doge. Doge ended up ending hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of waste and fraud, and probably saved a lot more than that, just because of the amount of other waste and fraud that's not even going to happen now because it all happened. What I mean is, when you lay somebody off, you save that money this year, but you save that money next year, and you save all the money that asshole would have spent next year too. So at the end of the day, the savings just goes on and on. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Oh yeah. Yeah, California is an absolute wreck. Um, Yeah, Elon did good. It's a shame that him and Trump had that little falling out, and they've kissed and made up now. But it sucks because he did some good work. He came in and did what he was going to do. He never actually worked for the government. He was coming in basically as a consultant. He came in, he worked his time, and he left. This was pretty much what was going to happen. It was not a permanent position. Um, yes. Yeah, there's been a lot of funding, and of course, NPR finally getting what's coming to them, and National Public Radio, Public Broadcast System, all that needs to go away, and now it is going away now. So that's a good thing. I got to tell you, it's bad. That was all really bad. That I should have to go to work every day and compete with my government, who is charging me to. They're charging me to have a call sign and be on the radio, and then they turn around and while they're charging me, they give free the money I gave them. They turn around and give it to my competitor. That's literally what they're doing. They take my money from my radio station, 50, 80, $100,000 a year, whatever it is for my license, right, for our license, and then they take that money and they give it to NPR and PBS. That's where a lot of that money goes. It pays their facilities, their electric bills, and they get free call letters. So the kitty is Mom Kitty. She's Mama Bleeper. The reason we call her Mama Bleeper is because she has a problem with her tongue being a little too long, and a lot of times she walks around bleeping. I don't know if she's bleeping. Yeah, she's bleeping. You can see it right there. She walks around all the time with her tongue hanging out. I literally think I think God kind of made her tongue a little too long. I think might have been what happened. I'm not sure, but for some reason she likes to hang around with her tongue hanging out. So there she is. Don't knock my drink over. But yeah, that's Mama Bleeper. She is my shack cat. She lives here. She lives in the shed. She's got a little litter box. She's got food. She gets wet food twice a day. She's got dry food over there. She's got a water bowl. And she lives in here. About every other day, she'll go out for a couple of hours and just look around, say hi to the other cats. And then she starts scratching on the door to want back in. But this is her house. She calls it Apartment B. Anyway, and she lives here literally full time in this shack. She's my little studio kitty. Isn't that right, kitty? Isn't that right, baby girl? Aw. Well, Ed's already in the bedroom, and I'll tell you why Ed's in the bedroom, because I got the heater on in there, and it's cold outside here. We're already falling down through the mid 40s, which for my cats is pretty cold, because again, they're Florida cats. Um, so it's a little cold for mine, but so Ed's already in the bedroom. Normally he scratches on the door about this time of night to tell me it's time to get off the air and come to bed. He sleeps literally right next to my pillow at night. Yeah. Well, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. I've been building this shack for about 5.5 years. It started with a 12 by 14 shed that I had placed here. The shed was a repo. The original owner of the shed was using it to keep his goat feed in, and it smelled like goats when I first bought it, but it was in perfect condition. It was only about 6 months old. It was a repossession. I got a really good price on it. It was the last shed that this place was selling that was stud. All the new ones are metal stud, and so it's heavy. Even the guy on the truck told me this might be the last one I have to move that's this heavy, because all the new ones have the metal stud. So I got the last one. It meets the Metro Dade hurricane rating standard for Cat 4 hurricanes, so it's a pretty good rating on the thing. I got it tied down with 6 foot long hurricane anchors, and then I've got 500-pound straps that go over the roof, 3 going this way and 2 going this way. And I literally ratchet the roof down. It has currently survived 3 hurricanes, one of which brought us Cat 3 winds. So It's a great little building, and then I dried it all in with drywall. I've got some really thick insulation in the walls and in the ceiling. I then painted the whole thing black, and I just painted everything. I put these desks, these counters that you see, they go. All of these counters pretty much go all the way around. It starts at the door over there, and this counter, it's one contiguous counter all the way around to the refrigerator over here. And then the refrigerator is just wide enough that it fits between the counter and the door. And I did that on purpose because I'm the only one living here right now. When folks come here, we've got, Carr lives here sometimes. It depends on where they're working. Joseph lives here sometimes. So when they're here, I plug the fridge in the house in. When they're not here, I live out of this little fridge out here. It's halfway between a small fridge and a college fridge, and I live with that, and that holds everything I need just for myself. And so in this studio, basically the way it's all designed and everything, I have 9 computers set up all the way around, and each one, this one is broadcasting the radio station right now, Pile Up Radio, over on Starship After Dark. This one is broadcasting the 7.2, which is 7.200 megahertz, which is the like the bullshit channel for ham radio. That broadcasts 24/7. And then I'm also in the process of getting all of our scanner feeds back up using the brand new software that we've got that we had made ourselves. I've got a friend of mine at work that builds software, and he has built us several programs now for use here in the studio, and that's one of them. Anyway, so yeah, it's pretty nice in here. We've got about, I think I got 28 monitors in here, 9 computers, and we can monitor what's going on up to 5 local channels at one time. We get the TVs are all hooked up to an antenna array outside, so I can watch I've got about 68 channels at my availability there. I also can watch TV on 3 of them off the internet. And I can put up Fox and CNN and whatever I want like that if there's a big breaking news thing going on. And then I also can put up whatever I want on the screens, monitoring whatever. So it's pretty cool. It's great when there's a big incident because while I'm sitting in here, I can be watching everything that's going on in the world all at one time. And it's pretty cool. I wanted something that was functional, that could be shot in any direction. You guys can see no matter which way you point the camera, I can shoot in that direction. You might see a little bit of the crap under the table or whatever, but you can still see pretty much everything that's going on here. It's shootable in any direction. And so it works out pretty good. All right, and there we go. We've got one of our streams has already gone down here. The Storm Chasers, it's getting late. They're going to call it a night. It gets dangerous out there in the snow in the middle of the night. Yes, Crystal Gale, Midnight in the Desert. I love that song. Yep, made for Art Bell, Whiskey 6, Ocean Bravo Bravo. Very good. I wish I could play that. I would take us out with that song. I will do that. In fact, I will do that, and I'm going to make a song about Midnight in the Desert, but I'm going to make it ham radio related, but I'm going to call it Midnight in the Desert, and I'm going to write it so that it uses the exact same form, style, and substance that Crystal Gale used to write Midnight in the Desert. And I bet it'll come out really, really good. That's what I've been doing. It's a matter of getting good lyrics, getting your lyrics hammered out. And like I said, AI writes them, and then I hammer them through and make sure they look right. And then I pick a genre, and I write the genre. Like I'll go have AI give me the exact prompt for a certain song. And then it will make that song, and it sounds very similar to the actual song. So it's pretty cool. If you want to hear the music, there is currently 49 songs playing in a loop over on Starship After Dark. You could just go right over there and pop in, and you can see it's playing right there on the channel. It's also got a ham clock, so when you're listening to music, you can also see You can also see the ham clock as well. It's pretty cool. I thought that was a neat touch there, since it's mostly for ham radio guys anyway. This way you'd be able to see that. Okay, and let's see. Anything else put in the chat room, guys? I'm getting ready to sign off. We're coming up on 2 hours. I'm gonna roll you out with a song that I wrote called "Silent Keys." All right, and it's a pretty sad song, but it's about 6 minutes long. It's a song about all of the ham radio operators that you lost over your lifetime, and we just lost another one up in Charlotte County. He was a ham radio operator that had been doing the Sunshine Net for years, and I spoke to him a number of times over on the Sunshine Net, and he was a really nice guy. And so it just kind of sucks, because as things go, people go, and I just want to mention Silent Key Steve Soley, Kilo 8 Alpha Quebec Lima, Kilo 8 AQL. Steve passed away a few days ago, and he's no longer with us, and he's now Silent Key. And he ran the Sunshine Net, which is actually one of the better nets in our area, 10 o'clock a.m., 7 days a week on the WX4E repeater. And he will be missed, as he took one of the 7-day cycles. He was one of the 7 net controllers for that net. All right, guys, and so there you go. That's what we've got tonight. So Silent Key, Kilo 8 Alpha Quebec Lima. God bless and Godspeed. And I guess that's going to be it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I present the song Silent Keys, the Logbook Blues. And I hope that you guys all have a great night out there. Tomorrow, don't forget the extended coverage tomorrow starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to be on all the way until probably about 1 or 2 in the morning or later, if there's actually a reason to stay on later. All right, guys, have a good night, everybody. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures, the sights and sounds of Earth. We'll see you guys tomorrow night right back here for our big show on New Year's Eve. 7-3s, everybody, 7-3s.
I pulled down the old logbook from the shelf tonight. Dust on the cover, pages yellow by time's cruel light. There in careful ink, the call signs of friends I knew. Laughing voices on the air, strong signals breaking through. We'd crowd in the shack, coffee steaming in the cold. Glow of vacuum tubes, painting everything in gold. Crackle of AM, stories swapping late into the dawn. Building Heathkit side by side, singing our radio song. Stockcake.com, stockcake.com, Facebook.com. Oh, they're gone now, silent keys in the night, one by one, fading out of sight. The paper holds their names, but not their voices anymore. Friends I shared the bands with, walking through that final door. The glow is dimming, the crackles turn to silence in this empty shack. I'm left with just remembrance, 73 to the ones who taught me how to fly. Silent keys, goodbye. Remember Tommy's laugh when the pileup called his call, or how Bill could pull a whisper through the noise floor wall. We'd string up wires together, climb the roof in summer heat. Solder irons glowing, making magic from a kit complete. Late night raptures about life, love, and the world we'd spin. Dreaming on the short wave where the real adventure begins. But the years keep turning, taking more with every page. Now the logbook's full of ghosts from a golden age. Play follows, carnalbands.com, flicker, gerd.com. Oh, they're gone now, silent keys in the night, one by one, fading out of sight. The paper holds their names, but not their voices anymore. The friends I shared the bands with, walking through that final door. The glow is dimming, the crackles turn to silence, and in an empty shack I'm left with just remembrance. Sever the tree to the ones who taught me how to fly. Silent keys, goodbye. I fire up the old rig sometimes just to hear the hum, but the bands feel colder now, like the warmth has come undone. No more hey old man crackling through the static sea. No familiar fists on CW, no one calling me. The new ops are fine with their digital screen so bright, but they never knew the magic of a tube-lit winter night, when friends filled the airwaves and the world felt close and kind. Now it's just echoes in my mind. I trace their call sign slowly with a trembling hand, wondering how time slipped away like grains of sand. We thought we'd be forever, chasing DX till the end, but the final seventh entry came sooner than we planned. If there's a big shack in the sky, I hope they're rag true and still, with tubes forever glowing and signals strong at will. Garsham radio, org, Facebook, com. So I'll keep the logbook open, let the memories breathe. Turn the pages gently, though it makes my poor heart grieve, for the friends who showed me wonder in a world of waving sky, who built this hobby with me before they said goodbye. Maybe someday I'll join them when my own key goes still. Till then I'll keep listening, I know I always will. Oh, they're gone now, silent keys in the night, but in my heart they're still burning bright. The paper holds their names, and I'll speak them when I pray, for the friends who lit the shack in their warm and gentle way. The glow may fade, the crackle turn to silence, but love like ours defies the years defying seven and three. My brothers, till we meet again someday. Silent keys, but never far away. Yeah, silent keys in the logbook blue. Seven keys. Old friends I Well, I sit here in the quiet of my modern little room, staring at the screen where the waterfall blooms. But my mind drifts back to nights long ago, when the shack was alive with that warm orange glow. Vacuum tubes humming, soft as a sigh. Paper log open, pencil close by. I tune across a band, hear the crackle and fade of AM voices calling from a world handmade. Stockcake.com, Facebook, comb block, the tube store.com. Oh, operator, can you help me find that time when the signals were strong and the nights were kind? The long wire swaying in the midnight breeze, and building kits with my hands, feeling young and free. Now it's all gone digital, cold and clean. No more ink on the page, no more tube-lit scene. The years roll on like a fading QSO, and I miss those old days more than you'll ever know. I remember stringing copper through the trees, Heathkit glowing on the bench in front of me, soldering iron hot schematic in my lap. Every contact earned, every new DX a map. Handwritten call signs, neat careful rows. Signal reports fading as the gray dawn grows. The crackle of static like rain on the roof, whispering secrets that felt like the truth. On allbands.com, Facebook, come ready to come. Oh, operator, can you help me find that time when the signals were strong and the nights were kind? The long wire swaying in the midnight breeze, building kits with my hands, feeling young and free. Now it's all gone digital, cold and clean. No more ink on the page, no more tube-lit scene. The years roll on like a fading QSO, and I miss those old days more than you'll ever know.
Thanks for being here tonight. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. Back tomorrow night for a full, long, extended episode for New Year's Eve. Good night, everybody. 7 threes.
These days the bands are buried in noise. City lights drowning out the old joys. Software decodes what I used to chase by ear. Perfect prints replacing the logs I hold dear. No more waiting for the skip to roll in slow. Just clicks and waterfalls telling me where to go. I fire up the rig but it don't feel the same without that warm glow calling my name. I pull out the old book, pages yellow and worn. Trace the faded ink where dreams were born. Calls from stations silent now for years. Friends gone SK, leaving only tears. Time keeps marching, taking piece by piece. The simple magic that brought me peace. Kurt Perdon, pride to become. Maybe someday young up we'll see the beauty in the old ways, the way it used to be. Dust off a 2-brick, string up a wire. Feel the wonder that set my soul on fire. But tonight I'm just sitting here alone, with memories crackling like a distant tone. Oh, operator, that's not the way it feels when the glow is gone and the heart don't heal. The long wires down, the kits are on the shelf, and I'm calling out to yesterday itself. The years roll on like a final sign-off, 73 to the days we lost. In this high noise world, I'm just hanging on to the fading echo of a simpler song. Yeah, the fading glow of the old shack blue. 73rd good night.
Alrighty. Good night, everybody. 7 3s. This is Starship Adventures signing off.